Ajamalami, a solemn play focusing on the plight of women, especially the widows. This is how the National Troupe thought best to mark the 2011 International Widows' Day. The guests were given insight into the domestic violence, sexual assault, forced marriage, trafficking, property grabbing, conversion of property, forced evictions that widows go through in some parts of the African continent.
A man who left home, hell and hearty, drove himself to the hospital, only to be stretched out there, leaves more questions than answers. Especially when the wives are concerned about what they can acquire that align custom and tradition. That he thought.
It is not this arguing with both of you, as we cannot even realize the irony of the last thing. Imagine the cost, money the kettle black. Who is scrambling for inheritance of the pregnancy of the dead?
The play, the story of Onuke, who died suddenly leaving behind 2 wives and 8 children, was written by Mr. Martin Adaji, who also happens to be the artistic director of the National Troupe.
What I've put there are no longer current, they're no longer happening. If they do very remote environments and not as blatant as it's been, we have to exaggerate in theater for effect.
So in a way, it also helps you look into the
to draw attention to the malaise that has been happening. What I've put there are no longer current, they're no longer happening. If they do very remote environments and not as blatant as it's been, we have to exaggerate in theater for effect, just to draw attention to the malaise that has been happening. In those days, you have to fight for 7 years for a wife. You might know the family where you are going to pick your wife from, but you will not even know the one. The decision is not yours. It's that of your parents and the people who are arranging for a wife. And you see, after feeding that family for 7 years to prove that you can feed your wife, that wife comes home. It is very, very important to have a male issue in Africa. You agree with me? Most of you women, once you get to your husband's house, once you don't have a male yet, you don't feel you have settled. Is that not right? Those are the emotions that drive the need for a male child to such level, breaking point.
Set in a village, the play was directed by Josephine Igwerase, who also talked about the efforts employed to make the production a success.
You will be responsible for Aisha. Take Aisha. It's okay. It should be okay. No. What else? Okay, sorry,
Even though the gods of the land had revealed to Onuke that he would not father any male children, his relatives didn't spare the widows and their children. But in a twist of fate, the highly educated children of the deceased decided to fight for their rights and their mothers.
Indeed, mother is supreme. Our mothers, sisters, daughters, and wives, please, in the interest of peace.
The elders had no other choice than to yield and revert to the will Onuke had left behind.
Making sure that their welfare is up and this, the Dakuo, and others have sworn to uphold.
Sad story indeed, but abounding with lessons that should be adhered to.
That acrimony that's created during that time can never be mended. If care is not taken, the family and the wife, the children are still scattered for life. They will never be able to live in peace and harmony with themselves. So in accusing them, in looking at issues of death, we should look at everybody involved is grieving, and that the children of the man must be educated if they are young.